Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Before I begin my presentation, let me introduce myself. So my name is Regina Darin Syafa. I'm from Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Semarang in Nutrition Department. So today I'd like to give a presentation about vitamin A supplementation as a specific nutritional intervention in children. So I will begin my explanation with a definition of vitamin A. So vitamin A is micronutrients that are important for the human body. This micronutrient is not produced by the human body, so adequate daily intake is needed to prevent vitamin A deficiency. The characteristic of vitamin A is not easily destroyed by heat and cooking, but is readily oxidized. And vitamin A belongs to a group of fat-soluble compounds involved in the growth and differentiation of various body cells. Next, in general, vitamin A is a generic name that states all retinoid and precursor or provitamin A or carotenoids that have biological activity as retinol. Vitamin A is resistant to heat, light, and alkalis, but is not resistant to acid and oxidation. In the body, vitamin A function in several forms of active chemical bonds like retinal, and retinoic acid. Okay, I'd like to turn to perform vitamin A. So, in perform vitamin A, there is a retinol that have the generic name of all retinoid, which have all transretinol biological activity. It is called retinol because it has a specific function in the retina. Vitamin A comes from a persecutor or provitamin A, which are consumed by animals or humans will become perform vitamin A. Then retinoid. The next one is provitamin A. So provitamin A is some carotenoid which have a vitamin A activity. So carotenoids can be found in plants. They are composed by carotene and related compounds, and many are precursor of vitamin A as they can be cleaved to yield retinaldehyde, then retinol and retinoic acid. Beta-carotene is the most active form of vitamin A, which is made up of two linked retinol molecules. And then, carotenoids are found in plant chlorophyll and act as catalysis in photosynthesis carried out by chlorophyll. So, carotenoids are most abundant in dark green vegetables. Plant-based food contain carotenoid, which is precursor provitamin of vitamin A. And then let's move on to function of vitamin A. So there are several functions of vitamin A, like it is essential for vision, then cell differentiation, and then for immune function and cell growth. Okay, the first one is essential for vision. In the eye, retinol, the form of vitamin A, obtained from the blood and is oxidized to retinal. Retinal then binds to the opsin proteins and from the visual purple pigment, or it called by rhodopsin. Some of the vitamin A is separated from the protein and converted into retinol. Most of this retinol is converted back into retinal, which then binds to opsin again for rhodopsin. And then the second one is cell differentiation. Cell differentiation occurs when body cells undergo a change in their original nature or function. Change in the nature and function of these cells is one of the characteristics of vitamin A deficiency that occurs at every stage of body development, such as the formation of body structure and organs, growth and development of the fetus, infancy, childhood, adulthood, and old age. And then the deficiency of vitamin A, it can cause the skin to become rough and wounds that are difficult to heal. Okay, the third is maintenance of immune system. Vitamin A affects immune function in humans. Retinol appears to affect the growth and differentiation. Let's next to the fourth, there is cell growth. Vitamin A affects protein synthesis, the effect on growth cell. Vitamin A is needed for bone growth and epithelial cells that form enamel in the growth of teeth. That in vitamin A deficiency, bone growth is stunted and bone shape is abnormal. In children who are deficient in vitamin A, there is a failure in growth. Okay, so that's it for the function of vitamin A. Now let's turn to vitamin A supplementation. Vitamin A supplementation is one of the supporting intervention programs included in the national strategy to accelerate stunting prevention through micronutrient supplementation. Vitamin A supplementation has also been widely implemented because it is a relatively simple and cheap to implement and it is high cost effective. Supplementation is given to three target of groups. There is infants, 6 until 11 months, young children 12 until 59 months, and postpartum women in 0 until 42 days. And then vitamin A capsule supplementation aims to restore acute malnutrition in children. Provision of vitamin A supplementation was carried out simultaneously in February and August at Posyandu or other health center facilities. So there is a picture of vitamin A. In the left side, there is blue capsule of vitamin A that consists of 100,000 UI that is given to infant 6 until 22 months. And then in the right side, there is red capsule of vitamin E that consists of 200,000 UI that is given to infant 12 until 60 months. Okay, next to another slide. There is a table about vitamin A supplementation recommendation. So the table is present the most severe clinical consequences of vitamin A deficiency like corneal ophthalmia, severe illness and death are found mainly in the age of group from 0 until 59 months. Then prophylactic supplementation of older infants and young children should be an immediately priority in all vitamin A deficient population. The most feasible strategy is to give high-dose supplementation every 4 until 6 months on a sliding dosage scale on the basis of the age. Okay, the next table is explain about vitamin A treatment. So high-dose vitamin A supplement should be included as part of the routine treatment of all individuals with xerophthalmia and of infants and children with severe malnutrition or mislead by using the treatment regimen that's shown on this table. So that is about vitamin A supplementation. Let's move on to vitamin A deficiency. So, vitamin A deficiency has been associated with low impact that can arise due to a lack of vitamin A include night blindness, change in the eye, infection, change in the skin, growth disorder, and creatinization of cells on the tongue, which can cause a lack of appetite and anemia. Deficiency vitamin A can experience a decrease in immune function and make the body susceptible to infection. In the infection attacks the digestive tract, namely the intestinal wall, it can cause diarrhea. Okay, the next one is about dietary sources of vitamin A. The first one is from animal sources that can be found in whole milk and dairy products like milk, butter, and cream cheese, and then glandular milk or liver, some fish like salmon, fish liver oil, egg yolk, fortified foods, and beef liver. And then the second one is vegetable sources that can be found in dark leafy vegetable like kale and broccoli, and then green leafy vegetable like spinach and amaranth, then orange and yellow vegetable like carrots, sweet potatoes, and pumpkin, and then red and orange fruit, flowers and juice, and red palm oil. Okay, I think that's all material of my presentation. And to end today's presentation, I'd like to conclude my presentation. So the conclusion of my presentation is vitamin A is micronutrient that are important for the human body. That vitamin A have several functions that is essential for fission, cell differentiation, maintains immune function, and then for cell growth. In all vitamin A deficient population, initiating a sustaining effective supplementation program for the at-risk age groups should be an urgent priority. Effective supplementation program will be those that reach virtual or individuals who are most at risk of vitamin A deficiency. So there is some reference that I use to make material of this presentation. And that's all that I can explain about my presentation. Thank you very much for listening my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.